Okay, we're going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. I've got 1800.
Those that I have in Father, come to you again today, Lord, just so thankful for the opportunity to serve the town of Locust, Lord. We just ask that you be with us and help us to make the decisions that's right for you. In Jesus' name we pray.
Stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. All right, roll call. We have everybody now except for Sabrina, who is enjoying the beach. And if y'all will look at the minutes of the June 9th meeting, please.
We didn't put them in executive session.
It's just at the top.
All right.
Okay,
So we have a motion and a second as amended. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? There is none. All right. Resolution 231 and 232 are in reference to the RSA retirement plan for our new employees as well as our current employee, April, just to bring everybody to tier 1 with the higher rate. So we'll need a motion and a second for each resolution. And then we'll vote on each resolution separately. 231 and then 232. It's just to bring it up to a higher rate.
right, and I'll make the town that, like no matter who they hire or whatever, it sets the town as
So it's
tier one.
all employees,
Yeah.
10 employees at tier 1.
I'll make a motion for resolution 231.
And a second. We have a second. All in favor? All right, resolution 232. That brings everybody to tier 1, which includes April, who's now tier 2.
The 232 is more going to be for existing tier 1 employees that get hired on. Like Holland, for example, it brings him to be able to pay in the correct rate for a law enforcement officer who's already paying into tier 1. I think he's right now only getting to be at 6%, he'll move him to 7.5. Yeah.
Second? All right, a motion and a second. All in favor? All right, that passed. And then the next resolution is resolution 233, which is the sales tax holiday. We actually spoke about this with April and the counselor today. We have not received any emails on that like we normally do, but we know it's coming up. And the lady that handles it is out today. So we're going to go ahead and pass the resolution and participate if we're still qualified to participate in it. If not, the resolution will be void.
I do want to ask you, Jeff, when I was looking at the state website, there are some towns that passed an ordinance to
Participate every year.
Every year.
Or not participate. You can do that.
yes. So that would be easier if
Like
we
I
could
said,
do that.
Yeah, you can do that.
So next month I
Well,
can.
that's kind of the way we handle the architects thing years ago, instead of passing a resolution here, to pass a permanent ordinance
Yeah.
years ago, like 20 years ago.
So maybe the next council meeting we
You
can
did
do
that.
that and then we'll have to worry about this anymore.
Well,
I didn't know that was an option, because they always send us a sample resolution and we just do that every, they didn't send one this year.
Gotcha. When's it supposed to be?
I think it was supposed to be in June,
For the,
but I'm gonna see if they'll squeeze us in if y'all pass this resolution.
for
So,
July 17th.
It'll be this weekend for tax free.
Okay.
So, let's see if they'll squeeze us in, but I didn't get anything from them. So, it didn't seem like a lot of participation on their website either, so, except for the ones
Yeah.
August
Talking to the superintendent today.
Six or seven, next month.
Yeah.
3 weeks.
I'll make a motion to pass resolution 233.
Second.
Hmm.
All right, I have a motion and a second for 233. All in favor? Opposed? All right, we're gonna have amend the agenda real quick. Fair request dates, would you like to speak, sir?
Yes, sir. We had a good turnout last night, and it's positive. We'd like to start building it up and making it better. And so we was requested to come back, which we was gonna get an email. And so we got a date for August 19th to the 23rd. And we'd like to bring it back for this year, and then we'll go ahead and, after the holidays, give a job for the spring date. So we'd like to do 2 a year. Spring,
That starts off also for everybody in Russia.
Football's going on, I know, they're putting, they don't have, but they don't have games at the park or anything.
I guess we just have to come up with an alternative plan for parking for football.
Well, it worked out for baseball, that's for the
Yeah.
practice and softball, and practice it.
They should be, there's not many kids in
Well.
all areas, baseball,
Okay.
But
It's a good idea, it's the way we're going to use it.
I didn't have any complaints last time, so like, from that
Well,
standpoint,
let's
town
ask
hall.
Colin since he's sitting in here, because I know you've kind of been a part of that anyway. Did you go to the park after they picked all their stuff? Did you see any trash laying around? Because I thought they did a good job cleaning everything up, and so it was like they were never there.
Yeah.
That was kind of the way we wanted it to be, and I didn't hear anything negative about it.
So, do we have a motion?
I'm not going to motion to open the day swamp to up there. So we're running into that. I didn't see anything in the
Back when I didn't, there's nothing on the calendar, so that's why I said the dates were good as far as that goes.
Yeah, I see it.
All right, so we have a motion and a second to approve the fair request dates of August 19th to the 23rd. All in favor? Opposed? Approved?
thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, the next, the vet clinic, are you with the vet angels? Or
Yes,
the-
sir, Animal Angels
Animal
Foundation. Yes, sir.
You have the floor.
There's a packet in there.
We've already got, I talked to County Line, and they're, and what we're doing is bringing what we call a high-impact clinic. The reason we call it high-impact is we go out into the neighborhood. We're doing pre-vaccines, rabies, microchipping, we're gonna do heartworm and chest at the same time, and sign them up for spay and neuter. Spay and neuter appointments, we're gonna actually go out, we'll have a central location, they bring their pets, we take the pets to spay and neuter. After spay and neuter, we bring them back. So there's no reason that somebody would be able to say, well, I can't do it, because for one thing, all the vaccinations are free, spay and neuter is free, and we're providing the transportation. That's part of the reason we call it a high-impact clinic, because not only going in like different places in the neighborhood. Our first one is going to be at the Blount County Animal Adoption Center. Karen is so graciously offered to do the vaccinations. County Line has said we could do one at the town hall. Sorry, I can't remember his name. I should start getting used to it, but So basically what we're doing, I mean, I talked to the Blount County Commission this morning. They did have one question which is not on here, and this is for Blount County residents. We will be asking for some type of either identification or, you know, like a Medicaid printout or something that has their address on it so we know they are Blount County. The only thing with county line, we'll have to make sure they're in the town limits, because since they straddle Blount County and Jefferson. So we can't say, no, you're on the Jefferson side, so you can't do it. So we will be making sure basically that they're in the town limits. So we will include their Jefferson County people. I wrote a book on prevention for animal welfare. And what we've done with our high impact clinic through research and everything, we've taken several different programs throughout the United States and kind of picked the best parts of all of them and put them together. For instance, nobody else does heartworm checks when they're doing like a pre-vaccine clinic. The Interpup in Louisiana, they do heartworm. And I was like, well, if we're doing vaccinations, rabies, microchipping, let's do heartworm at the same time instead of having like two different clinics. We wanted it to be a community project, you know, a Blount County community project. Since it is for the, I mean, we're going to be utilizing social media, press, PSAs, well, you know, like basically whatever we can to get the word out. I mean, you know, included like a sample of the flyer, you know, that we're going to be putting out. We're also going to be talking to like the local organizations like the churches and everything to get them involved, local businesses, because for the last 5 years in the United States, shelter intakes have been right around 6 million, with adoptions and spay and neuter being at their highest point ever, and we're still right around 6 million. So what they're doing isn't working, and there's not one organization that can do it by themselves. So we would actually be the first county or city or anything to do a program like this where it's a community project. I don't know if you have any questions.
So, does this help any of the stray population running around the county?
Yes.
So if you-
We're not only going to be doing the high impact clinics, we're also hoping to be able to do what they call community cat TNVR. That's where you go out, you catch the strays, vaccinate them and everything, spay and neuter them, and you return them. The reason you return them is because if you just take the cats out of a community cat, you create what's called a vacuum, and for some reason other cats will come in. But if you return them, it stays about the same. And since they're spayed and neutered over time, that population goes down because, you know, I mean, we have four seasons here. We have fall, winter, kitten season, and kitten season. Really, when kitten season hits, if you need to surrender a pet, or, you know, like you find I can't tell you how many, we run a pet help desk, I can tell you how many calls I get. Oh, I found a litter of kittens in my barn, there's one under my, you know, there's under my porch. Well, dogs breed at a certain rate, cats breed even faster, because a cat that is nursing can get pregnant again. And then they can get pregnant at like 3 or 4 months old. So the cat population, you know, so we're wanting to do that too as part of the high impact clinics.
I like that. We have a huge problem with strays in this county, and animal control just doesn't have the resources to go out and do it.
Right, so, you know, this will help that. And two, one of the reasons we picked Blount County is, well, I live in Pittston. I'm not actually live in Blount County. I'm close. I'm like about 2 miles from the intersection of Pittston Boulevard and 75. I live right there on 75. My son lives in Blount County. He has for 45 years. In fact, first time I came to Locust to work, I blinked and I completely missed my turn. But like I said, that happened 45 years ago, so. But also because Blount County is rural, this is where a lot of people go to take their, dump off their nets, you know, go out on the back roads. My son lives on Honeycutt Road, and he's all the time, you know, finding strays and stuff, you know. And if the shelter is full, because all the shelters and rescues are full during kitten seasons, there's nowhere to take the pet.
My question is, look, this is a great idea for strays, but as far as personal pets, is that going to be competition for our local vet office? That would be my concern. I would hate for you to come in and just start doing all these vaccines and.
Well, I'm gonna be talking to the local vets, I'm hoping to get them, on board, so that I actually have them do some of the spay and neuters.
Okay, so you want to partner with them?
Yes, we want to partner.
And that's.
We just we would hate to see a program like this go forward and then a year later, a police sign be out in front of the vet office. Because
Yeah.
we thought we were doing something good.
I mean, we are, to be honest, we are more targeting the people that can't afford it, even on a regular day. Now, there are gonna be people that can afford it, that are gonna come because it's free.
Right.
That's not our main target. In fact, I talked to Karen over at Blount County, and she said probably the main place to start would be Huntsville. So we are talking to her on like, okay, where should we do it? Everything else. What we're going to do is have people, they're going to come in their cars, so we don't have to worry about like, okay, do you have your dog on a leash? Do you have a cat in a carrier? We'll just have them come in their cars. We did the vaccinations right there, you know, and like I said, we will require some kind of proof that you are a Blount County resident, because this is for Blount County, it's not for Jefferson or, you know.
Have you had any other towns or cities that have gotten on board with this in Blount County yet, or are we the first one to talk to?
Well, I talked to County Line on Monday, they're in. I talked to the commission this morning. There's a couple of other things that they wanted, and I wasn't sure how to present, you know, like as far as requiring proof, because they asked me about, are you going to do the driver's license? I hate to say driver's license because there's some people that don't have a driver's license. So that's why we're saying you have to have some type of proof.
But everybody should have a water bill or anything.
Exactly. Somebody should have a water bill or electric bill or something that shows that they are in Blount County.
So what are you asking of us? You need a facility, you need money, what exactly?
Well, we're asking each town or city to chip in based on the residency. So, you know, so each town, the monetary amount is different. That is, you know, like, kind of what we figured out, like, as far as what we could figure out with the population of Locust Fork is. If Locust Fork isn't able to put in that amount later, that's what we're wanting to do. In order for this program, you can't do it just once. In fact, it was proven in Huntsville. If you make a 5-year commitment, okay, if you're doing spay and neuters and you're only doing like 3 to 4 per 1,000 population, the population keeps going up. If you do 5 to 6, it starts staying about the same. But if you hit like a 7, especially like an 8 per 1,000 population, that's when it starts going down. The first year, it doesn't, you don't really see that much. Second year, you start seeing a little bit. Third year, fourth year. By the 5th year, you cut it in half.
Does anyone have any questions, comments? I know that we used to give to the animal shelter that was on County 15 or County 13 before they closed. So I mean, you know, there's money in the budget for it. But to Adam's concern, one thing that I would like to ask is you get a letter of endorsement from our local vet before we do that, just so I know that so we know that she's on board and supportive, even if it's not monetary or doing anything that she doesn't feel it's a conflict.
And then
Yeah.
this,
And that's why I said, that's why we're gonna partner with the vets.
I think that as a council, I think that's a responsible thing for us to do.
And I totally agree.
And this is also, how long is this,
Well, it depends on the budget, like how many we can do a year.
what I'm saying, time frame wise,
This year, would this be a yearly commitment on this bond?
It would be a yearly commitment. What I'm gonna do is like, let's, get it going and see how the first year goes. We're gonna keep track of everything, so like after each clinic, we're gonna give you like, okay, how many people, how many got, this, how many got that, so that you would know whether,
Will the clinic be a 1 year, a 1 day or a 3 day, or how long will the clinic be?
we're planning like each clinic would be like a 1 day, like 10 to 4,
Okay.
and then have several, through the year, maybe one every other month or every quarter.
Okay.
What we're trying to do is hit that sweet spot of that 7 to 8 spay neuters. So that includes like the spay neuters at Animal Adoption Center. If we can get the numbers from the vets, we're trying to hit that sweet spot for total.
Well, from my perspective, and I don't know if y'all have anything else, but I would like to, for you to reach out to our local vet and also get an endorsement. You say that you've talked to the Blount County Animal Shelter. You can get a letter of endorsement from them or recommendation from them as well. And then bring that back to us and get with a proposed date that you want to try to do this to the next council meeting, and then we should have all the information we need at that point to make a decision.
Okay, yeah, let me know if I can get any information. We're actually going to be reaching out to, I think there's 4 vets in Blount County,
Okay.
so we're going to reach
Well,
them.
our concern is the local vet.
Yeah, and that's everybody. That's why we're reaching out to all of them. One thing we will need, one to act as like an emergency thing. If there happens to be an emergency during the clinic, we do have to have like a backup place to take them for emergency. So we were going to include the vet offices anyway. But look at it, because it's a community project, we want to include the vets and everybody else that we can.
Well, you can also include an update with everybody else you've talked to by next month as well, and that will help us with the decision as well.
Yeah.
All right. You have any other questions for us?
No.
Anybody have anything else?
Well, our budget meeting's next month, so we have
Perfect
time to
time.
go next month.
Okay.
We'll be planning for the next fiscal year.
It's August 11th.
August 11th.
That's our next meeting.
I'll have you information for that.
And I have one more question. Where'd you find that sign in Locust? Because I've lived here my whole life and I've never seen that sign.
You know what?
Check.
Unfortunately, I don't have time to go take a picture of every city and town.
I know, but you did a very good job on that flyer.
We want that gazebo too.
You know what they go to? I looked at that and I'm like, I know that.
Yeah, Holman, I was gonna say Holman, get busy.
I'm like,
Just gave us a-
oh, you should have seen the first picture it came up with. I was just like, that is not even close to looking for. Let's change it. And I'm like, I've been in Lewisburg, I can even come, another head don't have it, but it looks really cool.
I
So,
like that.
I was like, actually, I was like, well, maybe they want that sign. I didn't know you wanted the gazebo too, but I was like, doing like that sign. Did you see it?
I like the gazebo too.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna circle back on the agenda then. Just a point of information for everybody. Our budget work session is going to be August 11th at 5 p.m. And you're gonna make the assumption you're gonna send us the spreadsheets out before that so we can, not today.
Get mine.
So we can start working on that. All right, the next item is Rignell Engineering contract. He has sent us a proposed contract for continuing services. He did a great job, in my opinion, on helping us get the road project fixed for this year. We'll get an update on that, but this is basically just a contract based on being charged per hour when we use him for projects. If it's something that somebody else is going to do, that is at a reduced rate, then he will give us a reduced rate. But it's similar to what we do with our legal contract right now, where we pay by the hour bill. So this is just basically his scope of work in a contract agreement, if that's something we choose to do, which I highly recommend based on our experiences.
Yeah, he has 32 years experience in doing roads and road work. He was very organized, very detailed. The charge is $300 an hour for every hour that we use them, and he only bills for what he spends time working on our projects. And his invoices are very detailed. I mean, he breaks it down, showing you everything that he's working on. I just think for the better of the town, to have somebody that's an engineer in here helping us with our roads, our ditches, our culverts, instead of me trying to figure it out and figure it out. I just think this is a much better idea for the town.
Is that a form of a motion?
I make a motion that we move forward. We can use him on any future projects.
All right. So we got a motion and a second to retain Rick Nail as our engineer for the town. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Fire department, chief.
Things have been going pretty well lately. With the new improvements that's come through for the town, things are a lot cleaner at least. We've got the calendar for this month is pretty much full, so we've got people that are helping us out as well. We are discussing the radio situation. Right now, what we're kind of leaning to, what I'm kind of leaning to, is talking with 911 and everybody. We're probably going to hang on, obviously, to our P25 radios, but we own those radios. We're one of the few departments in the county, though, that actually owns P25 radios, so most of them are going to have to go some other route. Every one of the other radios, Southern Links has an expense to it, so we just have to figure out. I think we'll probably keep a few of those, so we can keep the contract up and keep them. They told me the other day that if we go away from the Southern Links completely to start with, it's easy to go back. It's not a problem, so that they can add it back without any difficulty. But right now, if the departments do not enter into an agreement with them, November 1st, the service will be turned off on Southern Links. So the departments that can't afford to go into a contract, they've got to figure out some other way to do it.
If you will go ahead and put that in your budget for October. Budget. The P25 service charge, as well as whatever the Southern Link service charge is going to be for having the mini radios that you're going to keep.
I was told by our 911 director that at some point there may be a large service charge on the P25s because of the maintenance on the towers, and that they don't have enough money coming in. That we own the towers, but we don't have the money to maintain them. So there may be a charge for anybody that uses a P25. He's talking a large charge, like $1,000 a radio. So right now, that's not coming down the pipe, but it is being. I mean, obviously, he would have told me that if they weren't considering something in that range. So I told him he's putting the fire departments out of the radio business. We're going to end up with somebody hurt. So we will, at the very least, even if we have to go to the Southern Links solely and come up with that money, we'll keep our P25s because they will be on the scene. We'll use frequencies for on-scene communications because the Southern Links you can't take into a fire. They shut themselves off. So if you leave them in the car too long during the day, they're shutting themselves off. Things get too hot. So we'll at the very least, that was something Jeff we purchased those off a grant years ago. We've had our grant to replace batteries on them, but we will always have those to use because we'll need something on fire rooms, if nothing else. So, but right now, the thought process is to go to our P25s for everybody. We've got 13 of those handhelds. Of course, everything in the trucks for that, and also we've got 13 of those handhelds. So everybody will continue to use those, and we'll just supplement we'll keep a handful of the Southern Links on contract and supplement what we need to.
Have you looked at the rapid radios? I've actually sold some of those to some of my customers where they could not get anything else to work in the building.
Right.
They work off a different frequency, but off of cell phone towers, and it is like a two-way radio.
The problem is that we can't get dispatch from
As
911.
long as that's the problem.
Yeah, no, it's obvious that they want the Southern Links to be a primary dispatch frequency and forward dispatch. That's obvious right now.
But this guy has no public safety background. He doesn't understand NFPA rules. We say when you go into a fire, you need to. His response to somebody that said their radio overheated in a fire was, "Oh, well, those can be replaced." And his response was, "I was trapped in a fire. I could not communicate." And his response was, "Well, once you get out, just turn the radio in and we'll replace the radio."
This was
It doesn't matter about
somebody in
the
the attic of a house.
Yeah. It doesn't matter about the life. He'll
Right
replace
now,
it.
we can actually still use, this is the coroner's office, we should have used in the first minutes as far as the original thing.
But it's the same thing.
The problem is Southern Link has got a lot of mutual aid stuff that they've got people to agree that that's the only place you can put it. Like TC Southern Link frequency. It's not active yet, but they've got it. So there's issues with every one of them, obviously. But right now, as long as the P25s are working and working as well as they do in our area, that's when they are.
This is not a new issue. It's a 7-year-old issue.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
heard it talk about it for a while. I just brought that up because
Yeah,
the service on those things was $50 a year.
right.
And my guy said I bought them for
Yeah.
but
As long as you have internet, the Southern Links will work as well. So
There is, there is an app option for the Southern Links, but it's $10 a phone.
and it's still
Put it on,
nice.
that works push to talk, just like that, so, if we do keep in the Southern Link venue, people can pay, but it has to be paid through the fire department or the municipality, they can't pay it themselves. That's to keep the number of people with the radio stuff down, obviously. So. Other than that, everything, we did have somebody code in our parking lot today, so we worked with Forrest in the middle of the parking lot, so got him back, but I haven't heard of the hospital, I'm pretty sure it's on the past, but yeah, we did get a pulse back on him before we transported him. So they drove up, Trevor got him out of the truck, started CPR, and Amanda came in and I finally got down here. So you never know what's going to drive up.
It was the first one.
First reading.
Should have looked camera and I was like, oh my God.
I've had a couple of overdoses do that, but it's been a while.
So, one other thing, the fire department's hosting, here, we've got 3 people here, we've got 2 people here, I hope it's total about 10 or 12 people here, 2 of them in the fire department, 2 of them in the fire department, so we're hosting anything else on the fire, anything else on the fire? Oh, clarification, I've heard a couple of questions and all that. Trevor, as well as Chris, they're on, if they're on the town, working for the town, they can stay on payroll. They can stay on payroll, as they discussed and all of that. To run volunteer fire. There's been clarified on that. There's been some question on that, so that was the intent of the motion. That was the intent of addressing the motion. But I just want to clarify that for everybody, make sure we clarify that for everybody, make sure there's no concerns or anything like that. Because they're on the payroll to do fire, on the payroll to do fire maintenance and administration or building, long PR or building maintenance, but they also are on payroll to run on town payroll to run volunteer fires. Everybody's going to go down there. Anything else on fire questions? Legal, anything else on fire? Legal.
Basically looking for the commission's annual MOU regarding debris removal, annual MOU regarding the debris removal, you know, we sign that every year, FEMA reimbursements, we have, the FEMA reimbursements, so we have, reimbursement, storm event, we need reimbursement from things, so we just had that on our agenda this week, and I'll make sure we have that on our agenda.
Any update on sewer, any update on the sewer, negotiations?
Well, I'm sorry.
He said he was gonna try his attorney as well. The next thing I said, he was gonna try his attorney as well.
The next thing last time we met was several months ago, I met with him, and kind of talked him through, got him kind of managed corporate, got his kind of out, some kind of video for us to review, so.
He just needs to
A lot on the plate.
All right, moving on, Chamber of Commerce. All right, got a couple of things.
Moving on,
The Chamber of Commerce. Got a couple of things we are looking First off, we are looking to next year's candidates for director's term. If anybody next year's board of directors term, if anybody is interested, that's stuff that Jennifer and Norman know as people are rolling off the board for additional board members. We have community announcement. Christmas lighting trail announcement, November 21st. Christmas lighting trail announcement, November 21st. Chamber leadership, Blunt County Chamber leadership, September. Anybody that's interested in starting in September, anybody that's interested has a great program to learn in Blunt County and all the contacts. It's a great program to learn in Blunt County and all the contacts and those different avenues, whether it's school system or healthcare or whatever else. If you get school system or healthcare or whatever else. It's September through May. It's September through May. It's the third Wednesday of every month. It's the same. Basically the same. It's the same. It's basically the same. They made a couple of, most of them, they made a couple of, most of them are basically the same. When you learn a lot about the healthcare, about the public safety. When you learn a lot about the healthcare, about the public safety, about the industry, and I didn't know if you'd be interested in what I did or not. It's yes, it is. It's contact Jennifer Bowman. Yes, it is. It's contact Jennifer Bowman at the Chamber, 190 Chamber. Again, every month it's something different. Again, every month it's something you go to the you'll do public safety and you'll go to the ambulance service and all that. 911 center out to the ambulance service and all that. People at the courthouse and the courthouse, they have people in the different departments in the courthouse out they have like sometimes they business development day or they'll like tour sometimes they tour police brings water, they'll tour police brings water, they'll go to different places there, they'll tour. One day they go to Montgomery and meet with the legislature. One day they go to Montgomery and meet with the legislative delegation and sit down. Legislative sessions, the session in the House. It's about 7 months, 1 day a week. 7 months, about 8 months, 1 day a week. Most days, about Montgomery trip, you got to be there about 5 in the morning. Montgomery trip, you got to be there about 5 in the morning and you get back about 5 in the evening. It's a great thing. It's $400. It's a great thing. It's $400. It's a great program. There is groundbreaking of Food City is this Thursday, 23rd. Groundbreaking of Food City is this Thursday, the 23rd, or next Thursday, 23rd at 10 a.m. There is a rumor there's going to be a Starbucks. There is a rumor there's going to be a Starbucks inside. That hasn't been confirmed yet. Dinner downtown. Dinner downtown. I think the dates are there. Anyway, I think that's all for the chamber. Anyway, I think that's all for the chamber. Okay, Roger.
You're talking about, Eric, talking about, everything was finished this week, except one 34 engineer red that has dismissed. Engineer red, he went out there and reviewed everything, he had job. He went out there and reviewed everything, he had contact with things coming before us. He's out there and did everything, And I've seen this personally, I know this is an issue, even before we put that road, running the kids alley, very close to the road, and running from house to house. For a lot of complaints, I've seen myself, people driving too fast on that road. Obviously, I think it would be a suggestion was, I think it would be pretty for us to have a couple signs for children to play. And on that road, I used to do like layout on that road, like layout road, you know, usually around 5 or 6 o'clock, I mean, I call that road times. I saw people really close to the road, on the side of the road, playing, people driving really close to the road, you know, people driving through there just don't even slow down, pay attention to drive kids because they don't imagine what would happen to that driver if those kids and the parents come out.
I think we need to put the first one about 50.
I think we need to put the first one about 50, 60 feet after we turn in person, and those, like, second, we have to go over the driver, and the turn, away from the way that one, if that right, if it turn, and that way that one's, because that seems to be the stretch we're
Let's
looking
get this guy in the control route a little later in the afternoon. We'll get the guy in the control route a little later in the afternoon. Also, just an update.
Just an update, I know this is not subdivision, but it's part of town. Spectrum came in back in January, on private, and all out first rate on private property.
They came back through the neighborhood.
They came back through the edge, 8 bars in the neighborhood, insurance, 2 inches lots, and the total, I have been licensed $200 in damages.
Finally
I have been fighting in the check, and I finally got them to agree to a mail check to the estate guys. So it'll take about 2 weeks to check to come in, and 50% deposit. And after we finish, and I sign off on that, then balance. That has been a mess and a disaster to get.
They got the email and they never opened it when they showed up.
They got the email and they never opened it. And when they showed up, they were saying in my heart, and they were saying, they didn't give us those plans, there's no problem, and showed an agreement that we all agree. And I'm like, here's your plan.
Shortest distance.
And I'm like, here's your plan, why don't you?
Shortest distance.
They went after the
Straight across.
And they went out for today after we had heavy rain, and y'all took that and put it in the war machine, and we put it in the yards, and so it's rust.
They actually took one of those walls. This thing's 36.
They actually took one of those vaults, and those things are 36 inches tall.
I mean, it's directly in the center. He told me to get it out, they moved it.
Directly in the center. He told me to get it out, they moved it. They messed up his entire yard moving that thing.
And then they dropped the line down about head high.
And then they dropped the line down about head high over in Bushville Lake. My road was going in, we couldn't even extract it.
Well, it seems after last week, one of my guys.
Well, it seems after last week, one of my guys. And here's the complicated one, you've got Spectrum, but then you got ITT, that's actually doing all the planning, and they contract out. So you got 3 companies that you have to go with. And Brandon, this past week, the contracting company, and the guy showed up, and he showed up, trying to leaf wrecking show. And the guy showed up, dropped the saw, leaf wrecking show. And he dropped the saw, I had to call him and get it stopped, and this guy's up. So I had to call him and get it stopped, and this guy's upset, because he said, well, we got to, you said, what are you taking care of? And I said, they all. We gave him 2 quotes from landscapers, and they're paying the bill. He was mad that they were charging him for it. And then started, he said, they said they take care of it. And then started making up excuses about somebody on this stuff, and isolating their neighborhood. Even though they were all workers while they were in their neighborhood. So, even though I called ITT back, and I said, I think it would be better if we had. I called ITT back, and I said, I think it would be better if we had an outside party come back in the neighborhood. We did give them the opportunity last week, and I had a meeting. So we did give them the opportunity last week, and I had a meeting scheduled with one of his workers, and then his boss texted me 4 hours later. So then his boss texted me 3 or 4 hours later. You guys should show up. I said, you guys didn't show up. I just had to hear it. I didn't know this. And as of today, also we had a tree on Creek Drive that had half fallen. They thought it was a 200-year-old tree. I haven't been on the almost 50 across the line. I haven't been on the tree fall on the ground after that, because it was 16 inches from the
Aside from that, I don't have any other reports.
Aside from that, I don't have any other reports.
Parking lot, off-road thing. Parking lot, that's right, okay, I apologize. I do need to make a motion.
That's right, okay, I apologize. I do need to make a motion that once Maxine is finished, we allow him to trade that we go ahead and approve to pay the final portion of that bill.
That way we don't have to wait for next month. Maybe the issue is done.
That way we don't have to wait for next month.
Is there a second?
Because this should be done.
Is there a second? Motion and second is to pay that. Motion and second to pay the improvements. All in favor? All in favor? Opposed? Anything else? For road? Anything else? Community center seniors? Community center seniors?
So they're gonna use your room, and added, in the last 2 months, added 6 in the last 2 months. They have 8 or 9 people in there, used to, they have 8 or 9 people in there, and only 2 of them actually keep adding, and now nearly. With that being said, some of the things we want to do is, with that being said, some of the things we want to do as far as moving the shed and everything, we really like to see if we garden and stuff. We'd really like to see if we could make, or I would like to make a motion to make your purchases for the miscellaneous to use, for purchases free, from activities, just free.
Well, what we'd like to do is just like step forward.
Well, what we'd like to see is just like we're going to set it forward, that she doesn't have to come in cover
She has a check account that a church running and it's got a.
Does she have the ability to be able to use that?
Does she have the ability to build?
I was gonna err that, I thought it would.
Okay, I was going to err that, I thought it would, I thought she had to ask for permission, so,
Our counter said that was not something that we started, so I know that it's not under that account, and so I don't even have anything for that account. And then.
She needed her discretion, that she had to be.
she uses her expression that she has to be.
And then she called me and asked me anything, like, we have a anything, like, we have a list of things.
Well, I think that's-
Well, I think that's
Have
something.
her, just make sure, just have her, just make sure she keeps those receipts, just in case.
Also, need to do, back stairs. Make a motion to replace the back stairs. Replace them and replace that stairs and maybe it's
Well, there's 2 that you can buy in the back.
Well, there's 2 sets of steps you can buy.
And the one thing left. So the one thing left. If you do that one, you're gonna block it.
Yeah, if you do that one, you're gonna block it.
Yeah, so like running it down. I mean,
Yeah, so like running it down.
so to answer the question, Council, right now,
Right now,
just do one every day or 2 days.
Yeah.
Just one every day or 2 days.
Yes.
Only one last night, 2 days.
I did what that.
Yeah, that's 2 days.
I did what that.
If somebody wants to hire.
We are talking about a senior center here.
We've got another.
We are talking about a senior center
here. We've got another issue in the front, they can't even step over the person parking, you're not getting any lines, so they can't step over the curb.
Now, there's some 90+ people together.
Now, there's some 90+ people
I think one thing that we should do, I think one thing that we should do is,
There's a problem with parking lots, and things, right? Can we just go all there, still got that on, and we still got it, and on about, I'm not even about the phone wall, and we still got it. It's not about, I'm there the other day, I saw it, I drove by there the other day, all trying to go to that orange train, one little hump, I saw trying to go to that orange train, not one little hump right there. So we got it down there, it's stopping from there, I think it left that water running, and that's right where Pleasant's Park, where the seniors are.
So if it has been raining, there ain't stuff in the water, it's cooling.
Right.
So,
And then look out and give us a recommendation.
yeah.
What was, you had a motion though on the stairs, the ramp. So do we have a second to
I'll
that?
second that.
Okay, so,
Good way to practice that around.
okay,
You and Trevor think y'all can do that?
all in favor?
Uh,
Opposed? All right, so y'all take a look at that when you get a chance and see about putting a ramp on the back of that.
Thank you for that, and you covered the water in front of the building. I think I'm good.
And the next thing is, I'm assuming you want to renew our N4A agreement for the,
Yes, I do.
for the, thing, so we just need a motion to renew the agreement.
I make that motion for it.
We have a second on that. Joey, second. All right, that's all in favor? Opposed? All right.
And just sign on that.
Park?
Fireworks department operate, I had no complaints on it, except for some of their grill. We did have some limbs fall off the bed. So I've got Trevor. We're gonna go down there and figure out which trees are actually the ones that's kind of right on the bottom side. And I'm gonna come back and recommend that we start cutting that.
Yeah, we did that one time. It was like-
These are all, when you pull into the bottom parking lot and make that turn, the ones to the left.
so you're turning right and then the ones before you turn left.
Go straight in, turn left,
Okay.
and you'll miss this part, you go down in the middle of the trees. It's like 2 or 3 trees, right here in the road.
Where the fence used to be.
Yeah,
Where the fence used to be.
That's where
They're
they're,
recording that old fence over there.
yeah.
If you'll put that, make sure that's on the list and get Trevor to follow up
And
on
I
that.
already found another tree we need to get to.
There's several.
Yeah.
I would like to get those stumps around now.
We need, we know somebody that can do that, don't you do?
We did, let's see. Cutting trees down is pretty, for the towns, we need to have someone that's very insured. So, I hear their insurance can sometimes be iffy, so we need to make sure that.
Yeah, let's double check that.
And then we'll call it.
Okay.
The insurance is everything.
You
You
put
have
all,
to know.
start tracking that.
Exactly.
No gray area.
They will be there. When season starts Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. When season starts Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. And well, they may do Wednesday. But, their first game is not till September. September 5th.
He's gonna come sign these agreements tomorrow, facility usage agreement, and he's supposed to turn in, they've already turned in their coaches list, and then, they're supposed to turn in their schedule. So, I think he's bringing me that all tomorrow.
And any idea what the rest of the
I haven't been visual that.
Adam,
All the rest of the buildings.
when is our board back home?
They're awesome.
He said he was gonna have to come after the 4th of July. He finished up doing the work for me Saturday, so I don't have enough dog work like this. I'll see if I can get out here
He
sometime.
has a problem getting
And
in
they're
with
left.
They did the two behind the back cages, and they could not get the doors off, the ones outside the walking track, the ones down by the concession stand. But he was trying to be gentle with it, because if he breaks that, then we gotta replace the frame, because everything behind that frame is what's holding that door up. So he said, let me go home, regroup, and I'm gonna bring some more tools, and we will come back out here and do it. So I'll call him after we leave, and he can get back up here. And FYI, he has volunteered to do this for us, no charge, so, you know, you don't want to push too hard, but I will see what I can do. I'll let you know in the morning.
Chris sprayed all of the old hinges with the rust stuff.
Fingers crossed.
So
They
everybody will break
even
this.
went as far as to try to take half hinges and get the doors back on and make everything work. They tried everything. They even took one hinge and cut the spacers out of it to try to make everything line up. And he said it just wasn't open and close right, and I didn't want to leave it that way. So they put the old doors back on. He said they didn't get them to shut properly. So you may want to check and see if they will lock, if they just close on their own. That might be something that we want to check, because he said he got it all closed properly. And then, again, I'll call him later tonight, and I'll let you guys know something in the morning.
I would just rather have them come and install it on the new door, because
I get it.
the installation process is what they're charged us for.
Right.
So.
That's all I got. All right. Mayoral advisory.
It's been pretty quiet, we're just kind of waiting on, the, sewer documents, for that making the sewer people, to kind of make that plans for that. But other than that, we're just kind of waiting around. We've got to talk about, the cemetery cleanup, that's the last project that we're supposed to do on our, grant for the state, so get that done.
We have a date yet for that?
We don't. I did hear from, the great fifth great grandson, Gabriel Hamby. He lives over in Limestone, so they're gonna come do a historical information session on kind of the county, around the time of Gabriel Hamby, so that's gonna be pretty neat. But we gotta talk about a date for that, so. Did file the Kawaka grant for the change out of the lights at the park, about $10,000 for that. We won't know till September. Depending on if we get that or not, we may still have the opportunity to get some money from Alabama Power. But we just have to wait and hear from the Kawaka grant in September.
If you were the constitutions and frames for the high school.
Consultations are
Everyone,
in.
yeah.
I actually
Everyone
was
knows
able
what-
to coach the animal office into giving us 41 free ones.
Okay.
So, and then I'll order more.
But we talked about the frame one yesterday. Did you?
Yes, I did not. I got
Okay.
done with that towards you later. But I'm gonna go to Hobby Lobby and look first before we do Amazon.
Yeah, because Hobby Lobby had some on sale, and so she was gonna go take a look at those, but otherwise, we've got some picked out from Amazon to.
They might come matter for us too, though, if we buy them from them.
Well, they're already framed and matted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. These are already framed and matted.
Okay, so we need to just get with Mr. Smitherman on a date to present it to the classes with the
Yes,
school starts.
yeah, just after the school, after school starts, we can get with him to present them.
Good job. Okay.
Other than that, our 4th of July, I'll agree with Joey, 4th of July seemed to go really well. The constitutions and stickers that we gave out, everyone seemed to appreciate
That would have
those.
been pretty good.
Yeah, they were.
Stickers, and I actually have some in my office and
You got a
another.
fireworks show coming for us last night?
I'm telling you, they go.
They
They
do.
made it over here.
We'll have to get some more flags
I had to
next
hire
year.
them
We
for
ran out of flags,
the
so.
deputies.
And we did have a lot of kids come back and ask for flags.
Yeah.
And we were passing that stuff out.
Okay.
It's so tough to tell them no when you only had 2 in your hand and you're telling you're looking for veterans.
Yeah, it is. So we'll definitely have to remember to kind of plan next year and do something again for next year. Because, it was very minimal cost for those stickers and for the flags.
I know, I got those stickers so cheap, so it was good.
Yeah.
They were
So
good stickers.
Yeah, the designs, everyone loved them.
I think that and giving the council a chance to go out and kind of mingle and a chance to talk to people was, I think, went over really, really well. So that was a hit. So.
Well, thank you for helping too.
Well, you're welcome. I plan on that again for next year.
All right, any public comment? Anybody else have any input? Yes, ma'am.
I heard Linda probably never for me to outlaw for this, but I'm really tired of the fatal car accidents on Criterion Honeycutt. I don't know if guardrails would be a solution to that, but I don't want to keep seeing like flight helicopters land in my neighbor's pasture. So
Understand.
what can be done about that?
Well, first off, those are not town level roads. So the first step would be to call District 4 County
Okay.
and let the secretary know that you have an issue, and they'll probably wind up sending the commissioner out there to take a look at it. But
Okay.
legally, the town can't do anything on those 2 roads because they are not outside the town limits. They're not the town's responsibility. So I apologize for that, but we have to follow the way everything is set up legally. That's what I would recommend, is just reaching out to District 4 and talking to the secretary there and letting her know your concerns.
Okay.
And that's right there at the corner of your house, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
they-
always been a dangerous spot. It has been.
But I feel like that's all the more reason to make it not a dangerous
burn up.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible. I mean, we tell people that come to visit, like, please don't go through that. Come up Smoky Hall.
Where exactly is it? Right there, before James did.
Yeah.
Right there on the corner where you turn right at his house, it's that intersection.
Do you think it's because people don't stop at that stop sign, or they can't see the crest of that hill?
They go too fast when they try to make the
I
curve.
think it's actually all above.
I think it's still, I think,
Yeah.
Oh, I know, I've been driving
Now,
down.
if you feel like you're not, if you feel like you don't get anywhere with District 4 Commission, your next step could be call the county engineer. And ask the county engineer to come out. He usually responds pretty well and he tries to be as helpful as he can. That is a county road, so he can come out here and look at it. So that would be the steps that I would take just to make sure that you're following the proper procedure. And you know, if you need any help from us, we would be more than happy to do what we can to help you. But as far as us providing resources over there, we're just leaving it all out.
And
I'll check with Commissioner Washburn about that.
Okay, thank you.
And just a heads up, if that road ever gets paved,
It'll be even worse.
it gets worse right after they pave it.
Because it's smoother, people tend to drive faster, so.
I don't think you should be able to legally pass right there too.
You
should not. Absolutely. You should not legally pass anywhere on Frontier Road. Or, this road, you have off the 79 at all.
I've heard too that there's a way to, when you do road work, that you can put like an angle so that instead of having cars slip out, you can like predict the trajectory of the car.
And that's where it's very important that the engineers come in and take a look at this stuff.
Right.
So the more you make it known to the engineers, they will take a look at that kind of thing, and then they can pitch the road a certain way. They may have ideas of doing it, think of, but the more they know about it ahead of time, the better off they are.
It's probably gonna be like right there at the top of T31 and Naniana. They put a guardrail there and everybody keeps taking out the guardrail. So, I mean, about once every 2 months they're replacing the guardrail right there. So, but at least it'll slow them down.
Not recently, but if I mean, I'm just tired of doing that.
Okay, well, just at the other end,
Not like within the last month or so.
Okay.
Anybody else? All right, Jill. Move to adjourn. We're adjourned at